Hey guys, this is Bradley Benner with Lead Gadget and the ATM. This is August 18th, 2016. Looks like it'll be a short webinar today, guys. I don't see anybody with any questions. I see a couple people RSVP'd. If you guys have any questions, post them on the events page. So I really don't have anything to share with you specifically. So it's supposed to be Q&A. If you guys have any questions, post them on the events page. I'll get to them. Otherwise, we will wrap it up and get back to work. So it's your call, guys. I'll leave this open for a few minutes because I know there's a little bit of a delay. We'll see what happens. And get to any questions if there are any. So again, if you have any questions, post them now and I will answer them in the order in which they were received. So I'll come back and check on this in just a moment. I'm actually doing some site cleanup stuff now. I've been using a plugin that might be causing some issues with indexing. And so I'm kind of doing some tests right now. But I was using a Site Guardian plugin. It's called WP Site Guardian. And Brian took a look. We've been having some indexing issues. And Brian took a look yesterday, and he thinks that might be an issue with indexing. So I'm going through main WP right now and deactivating that plugin from hundreds of sites and testing, because I've had one site that I deactivated it on yesterday that just wouldn't index. I deactivated the plugin and then resubmitted the homepage URL to Google Search Console, and about 15 minutes later the site indexed. And we've tried to index that site about 5 different times. So I'm thinking it actually might be the plugin. So guys, every now and then, something like that happens when you're having trouble with stuff. You can take a look at your plugin list and see if there's something that could be causing issues. That's something that I hadn't even thought about before, because I've used that plugin for, it's called WP Site Guardian. I use that for like money sites, client sites, and for some of my own lead gen sites and things like that aren't ATM type sites. And I haven't had any issues. But maybe because of the ATM sites being the way that they are, just kind of like a different type of site, that it's causing an issue. And again, by disabling it on one of the sites to test and then submitting the site or the homepage URL to Search Console directly, I was able to get the site to index in about 15 minutes. That has, again, I've tried 4 or 5 different times with that one particular site, and it was unable to. It just never indexed before. So thought that was pretty interesting to find something that could be causing an issue like that without, that doesn't cause an issue on regular sites. And that's kind of one of the anomalies that we deal with these ATM sites. They play by a different set of rules, it seems. And so sometimes what might work on traditional style sites won't work on ATM sites, and vice versa. So I thought that was kind of an interesting tidbit. I'm still testing now, but hopefully this will help our sites to start indexing a little bit faster. So anybody that I just saw a couple other people now or come on to the event page. Guys, if you have any questions, post them on the events page, or we're going to shut this down real early, because again, if there's no questions, I'm not going to sit here and just talk for no reason. I shared that little tidbit with you now. I don't have enough data to be able to prove if that was the case or not with that plugin being an issue, but I'm going through and deactivating it on hundreds of sites now to see if I can get better indexing rates on the sites that we're having difficulties with. So, and again, that's been recently, ever since the big June de-indexing at the beginning of June, where we lost 689 sites. They were all XYZ domains. We've had just an enormous amount of trouble getting sites to index. If we build on the root domain, they typically index fine. We always build on the root now. We just change the site address to the www version of it once the site's been deployed. But then we've been building 3 subdomains on every domain, so that we end up getting 4 sites per domain. Since we're buying .coms, .nets, .orgs, those are $10 to $12 domains. So we're trying to get a little bit more use out of them by building on subdomains. And what I found since the big June de-indexing was that the root usually will index and in one of the subdomains, but the other two subdomains haven't been. And it's just been an enormous amount of effort trying to get them to index without any success to this point, or very, very limited success. So, I'm hoping that discovering this plugin as a possible problem with deactivating it, that I can go resubmit a lot of these sites that have not indexed and see if they come back now. And, that's going to make a huge difference, because we've got, I don't know, we went from 689 sites down to we're about close to 400. And it's been 10 weeks, and so our builds have slowed down a bit too, because we're doing better content now, more unique content anyways. So that's kind of caused an issue, but then also the indexing, because I've had my builders go back and spend, a whole day at a time just trying to index sites that we've deployed that have not indexed. And we've done that multiple rounds. What I mean by that is, I've had the builders go back like once a week and check on sites that hadn't indexed yet to see if they've indexed, in which case, if they have, we put the overlay plugin, turn the layer beta plugin on and lay the landing page on top of it. But if it hasn't indexed, then they submit it to the indexing again. And then they submit the sitemap, the URLs from the sitemaps to Express Indexer. So it's been kind of like this ongoing process with repeat work over and over again, trying to index the same sites without any success. So again, hopefully this plugin was the actual culprit, in which case we might be able to start, get about 50% of our sites that are sitting right now not producing because they're not indexed. Hopefully they will start to index and start producing some call volume for Ring Partner and things like that. So I'll update you guys during the next webinar if indeed that was the issue, because I know I've shared with you guys the some of the working procedures that I have used for site building, the working procedures that I give to my virtual assistants, and in the plugin, that one particular plugin, WP Site Guardian, is one of the plugins that I've always installed, because it's good for like limiting bot activity and that kind of stuff, which helps the server to stay efficient and running smoothly. But in this case, if it's causing issues with indexing, it's not worth it. I'd rather the server be slowed down by too many bots than have the site not indexed. You know what I mean? So we shall see, and I'll give you guys an update, next week or in 2 weeks when I come back for the next webinar. All right, guys, I don't see any questions at all. We're already almost 10 minutes into this and there's no questions. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. If you guys have any questions, that's post them on the events page. That's what it's for. If I have something particular to share with you guys, I will. If I have any training that needs to be covered, at the request of Brian or Don, I certainly will. But other than that, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up, because this is supposed to be Q&A, and I don't see any questions. So thanks, guys, for showing up. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Go build some stuff.